Oh, hello and welcome to the World Center of Randomizer Racing. It's the CrossKeys Tournament 2024 Swiss Week 8, presented by twitch.tv/Dante. And it's time for the final race. I'm joined on the call tonight by Clear Mouse. How you doing, Clear Mouse?
Yo, Dante, doing absolutely phenomenal on a nice, balmy Monday evening, watching Andy and Flipheal fight for, well, a potential bracket play and race spot or a potential bracket spot, depending on what happens for this match.
There's definitely a lot of stakes here, and the runners are about to get readied up. But so as you see down at the bottom, it says Swiss Week 8. It says 6-1 and 5-2. So Flipheal, who is 5-2, is the unlucky one, so to speak, who got paired up against a 6-1 person with the odd number, I guess is the way to put it. So the stakes are a little different for each runner. Flipheal has to win to guarantee himself a play-in race spot. Meanwhile, if Andy wins, he is guaranteed a bracket spot without having to do the play-in. So, if Flipheal wins, I guess Andy and Flip are both in the play-in race whenever that happens, and it's really confusing, isn't it?
It is. It is. You did mention a lot of steaks, and I guess are we limited to just steaks? Maybe brisket, maybe some ribs.
We need brisket, ribs, pulled pork, all of it.
Oh my gosh, all of it. Yeah.
The CrossKeys tournament has it all.
Getting some food maybe from his local barbecue. We have the pleasure, of having Flipheal's cam on. So I think we actually kind of know when he is going to come back and, be ready to focus, his attention on potentially securing his bracket spots or his play-in spot.
I mean, here's the deal. Usually we get the chair stream for most of you that are here on Andy's side. Meanwhile, it's Flipheal actually doing his best Andy impersonation.
That's right.
As according to the race room, he may have mistimed a pizza coming out of the oven. So not only are steaks on the line, but pizza slices are too.
We should ask him what toppings his pizza is on, or what toppings are on his pizza.
Somebody in chat was talking about pineapple pizza earlier, and I know that's a pretty divisive topic, very much so similar to mini randomizer things. Anyway, we will.
Are we supposed to? We're supposed to keep commentators as unbiased. Auntie, is that what you said? I heard bias. We're anti Flipheal tonight. Okay, nobody can. I don't know. If you like pineapple on your pizza, that's great. There are, I would consider other better options, but if you prefer pineapple on your pizza, you are free to eat pineapple on your pizza. There's no
it's not bad.
Temporarily.
So I wonder if we're going to see Flipheal actually eating the pizza, or if he just inhaled it out of the oven, because I'm pretty sure he burned his mouth. If so,
yeah, that's also true.
In case, but he is here as you see him walking into the building, or his computer chair.
He has replaced his chair, so we're actually gonna get some real gaming, going on. Although, as you said, Dante, before, the chair gaming is actually it's sometimes it can have really taken off potentially, but Flipheal's ready to go. Andy's also ready to jive. You can see the little cute pug for week 8, and yeah, lots of stakes are on the line. Flipheal's got to make sure he cools off.
The fan on. He's cooling his mouth off from burning on the pizza. The countdown timer has begun. Obviously, a little bit of delay here, with the cast. So at least from the race room, but we'll see where these runners start. This final race of Swiss Week 8 is about to get underway.
That's right.
And we are off to the races.
Yeah, I think I might be. Oh my gosh, Flipheal. Okay, I am so surprised. Flipheal did not literally just reset his console.
I mean, he's shaking his head.
This is one of the best and only opportunities in order to actually go and reset it and avoid shields. Oh my gosh. Hello, Paradox.
This is a spicy start, so we're not going to get a free back of escape. We're also going to have Paradox here available to us, but small magic on the crab, and the extra prize is just $20. A tree pull, also $20. Andy gets a bomb.
Oh, if he pulls the tree, he can actually go and
He's not.
bomb. Okay, yeah. I mean, he could have bombed, opened the Paradox shop, and bought some bombs, and done Paradox. But looks like Andy actually not gonna quite find out what the tier 1 tree pull is. Oh, we just found a bomb shop. Never mind. Yeah, so
And poor
Andy,
Flipheal farming bombs here. He's about to
Yeah,
go
that's
buy
right.
some bombs too.
Andy actually I think he's gonna try and set up a tier 2 tree pull. He hasn't gotten hurt yet, so maybe
Maybe
he
he's
actually,
just going for the tier 3.
yeah, maybe. He's gonna potentially miss. There was another shield. Is this? I think this seed might be anti-Flipheal, at least at the start. Oh, he's gonna miss
My
another
goodness.
20. He's gonna miss another 20 tree pull. Oh my gosh, really unfortunate. All right, Flip actually showing us tier 2. Which is small magic. It's actually, kind of convenient as well. But yeah, those that money that Flipheal had from the tier 1 tree pull in order to go buy some bombs, it's like super nice early.
All right, so key acquired here. That is going to be 2 Palace of Darkness. 6 of those available in the world for us today. Andy opting to walk out of here. Flipheal with the save and quit. This is probably going to be the play back to Paradox.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
We're going to see a little divergence here early on. This could be pretty nice. If it's a movement item, it could be a little while before Andy decides to go back. I think it'll be on his mind, though.
Oh yeah. I mean, you know, Paradox is a brevity of not only items, right? Flipheal was going to get all 7 of them. Plus, it is 3 connectors for entrances, and so it's going to be, very, very valuable in terms of prioritizing, what you kind of want to do. But of course, all roads lead to Kakariko. Certainly very convenient. We found lots of shops.
We are exploring Kakariko, as it were.
Right.
Moldorms being the Olympians today, dodging the bombs.
We should hold out medals for these guys. All right, what's actually here? We got a quick medallion at the bottom. Got a nice high container. What else do we have here upstairs? Got a compass to the Skull Woods. Okay.
Not a whole lot of goodies here in Paradox. Flip gonna up to drop down. He's probably gonna walk out the bottom here. This is gonna give us our lower information. And he is going to be here in Dark World over near the pod area.
Yeah.
This is actually in logic for him to walk to the pyramid. There's the off chance of a moon pearl here. It actually can happen. Or a mirror, yes. It's definitely possible.
Yeah, and I think actually, speaking of the play inverse, I believe it was actually the play inverse either from last year or like the year before, I can't remember. But there were a handful, as in like 2 or 3 people that actually bunny walked all the way to Pyramid from some, weird early Dark World location, and there was the mirror, and like it completely shook up the whole like bracket, the bracket status.
Right.
It was pretty nuts because I mean, like Mirror and Pearl, as you mentioned, are probably some of the worst locations in order for it to be there. Or what happened on Andy's side?
That was the Hyrule Castle small key on Flipheal's side.
Ooh,
so when we find that, that's actually in logic.
Oh,
except for the back. Not guaranteeing an item's going to be there, but very interesting to see that so early. Given the layout here.
Okay. Well, we're talking about the antithesis, inverted castle. We have GT already on Flip's side. Yeah, but actually, you bring up a really good point about the Hyrule Castle small key. All right, Eastern big already one step to dippableness in Eastern. But like the fact that Sang is at Lumberjack today, and we may not have like some great access. The Hyrule Castle small key could be potentially pretty good.
Well, Andy getting his moon pearl here in the good old graveyard
and a good nice bomb farm as well. Here in Kakariko, you guys see Andy. Unfortunately, he still does not know about the tier 1 tree pull and the money, and he has walked through like 5 shops now in order for bombs. So pretty fortunate that he was able to kind of find at least Graveyard Ledge in order to stock up on a couple of extra ammunition here.
Yeah, he's thinking, oh boy, 3 a.m. It's time to go to Paradox. But first, we got to pop in. Flute 2 spot going to be Bomb Shop. That's going to be Ice Palace and Thieves Town for our red crystals today.
What?
I missed what was in Frederick's vacation home down there on Andy's side.
I also, like, I saw it and then immediately blanked out because it was not useful.
All right, so it's no use. That's exactly what we want to know.
All right, Flip's actually finding Thief's Town. The Lost Woods Thief drop down. Just gonna take it blind. Fairy. Okay, yes.
And there's Hyrule Castle front on Andy's side. That is in logic. He just doesn't know it yet.
Oh my gosh. There was a form. I mean, it was Zelga versus Marty when the boost from first chest to Castle Tower, and you could have gone there through bombs, and nobody wanted to go do it. So this could be a good lesson. If something important is in there and you only have bombs to your name, it is technically possible.
Now, GT small for Andy before he finds Ganon's Tower. What does that mean? Absolutely nothing, honestly.
Right.
As we don't have any way to get around to Ganon's Tower just yet, but we do want to keep track of those keys a little bit for logical purposes, at least.
Yeah, it looks like Andy actually found Spiral Cave, and no, I mean, he's not completely defenseless. He does have bombs. He has his pug form as opposed to buddy form, so we can go through Spiral Cave. Not maybe. Something that's completely desirable. No weapon, no real weapon, no boots. We're gonna see the rest of Kakariko, what it has to offer. And he may end up taking it, before he ends up going too far out of his way in Kakariko, or we'll just, keep walking, and just remember that the connector's there.
Indeed, we will. Looks like just a useless cack house down south in the library area. We do get another dark room. That's going to be at Hyrule Castle Main. Andy going to give us Baby Hookshot Cave. Not useful in non-doors, but he is going to cross that off his list. Race game right as Flipheal walks out of sync again. We get the chest game, a bomb and a hook shot.
Oh wow! All right, well that's a great prize. I'm really glad that Andy was able to scrounge up 42 rupees from his travels, despite not having a tier 1 triple. Comparison to Flipheal, who Houlihan got 2 tier 1 triples. It was able to buy bombs, so quite the money difference. But chess game, especially when you end up finding it, somewhat early, it actually is going to be just kind of like bottle vendor. In Kakariko, it's you want to be able to afford it, and sometimes you just can't, and then you end up leaving potentially like your hookshot there, for 45 minutes.
Yeah, I am very upset because we already have this whole crossover thing where we're getting no new checks. My dopamine needs to be hit.
Yes. Well, so there is one check I believe that Andy could not do that Flipheal can, which is in this case spend some extra cash at the bottle merchant. So that could be, again, that could be something major. Oh, that's right. I forgot. There was also desert in Kakariko as well. Andy opted to take no connectors. Just kind of finished up Kakariko. Obviously decided to go beeline Paradox Cave with his 7 items and another potential connector. Makes a lot of sense.
Well, here's the thing to watch. Andy here has the opportunity to drop down like Flipheal did, or do the bomb jump and head out the top. And he looks like he is opting to fall down in that same path. So maybe a little bit of divergence here. He'll be able to explore a little bit in Dark World. He could go to the pod area without the money. I don't think it's worth. Oh, he's going though. Yeah,
maybe we're gonna just get a fake pod entrance. That's potentially possible. But yeah, the fact that Oh, Dante. Oh, this is 2 classes, man. But you know what?
My God.
Andy's gonna get maybe potentially rewarded as well, because we just found Blind's Hut for free with that pearl that Flipheal just picked up. And this was not this is not something that Flipheal could have done without the pearl. Although we're kind of looking at
another sword.
We have a sword. Who needs bottle merchant? Okay, we got a good dopamine blast, from the bottle merchant. But we also got it from Blind's Hideout as well.
Incredible. Andy also now has enough money to do Palace of Darkness entrance by getting the 30 and back plus the 50 that popped up in here.
Oh my gosh, you're right. Never discount these pots money, and 20 rupees here. Even 50 certainly, a pretty, non-trivial amount of money. But I mean, when you're scrambling for funds and you don't know about the tier 1 tree pull yet because you haven't been able to pull the tree, money is definitely can be quite the problem. That's right.
Now, here's the very interesting part here. Flipheal going to be going into Hyrule Castle. He has that key. He knows it is in logic. I kind of get the feeling we're going to see Andy save and quit from Pod. It's such a long walk. I really don't see him investing unless he gets boots, and that's still a massive maybe.
Yeah, I mean, walking out certainly of the pod area is, pretty painful. Running out is less painful, but it is still painful. It's not like it's something you want to do, and especially I guess if you think about NMG, like because you can't save and quit, you kind of have to run out. So if it's your only option, then yeah, you have to go do it. But Andy, we've got the nice select button to be able to do this. Okay, good Dark Cross. Looks like Flip is not gonna go forward. We're gonna actually
take a death. Is he taking a death warp? No, he is going through. Andy opening pod. He's down to a half heart though, so keep an eye on Flipheal. Andy not getting any goods here. He is saving and quitting from the pod area. So no Hyrule Castle small. We'll see if Flipheal makes it through here and if he gets anything of value. This is kind of a pivotal moment here at the 12-minute mark.
Yeah. Oh, what a nice heart drop.
Good game knowledge.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, maybe it was a pot too. Yeah. But like, yeah, I think it looks like, Walking's probably onto something. If Flipheal probably thought about he's gonna Dark Cross and then realized he could probably go further because he only bomb jump. He was trying to kill himself and then was decided to continue. And we are, oh my gosh, Flipheal.
All right, we've done it. Now, if we have made it. we don't walk into our bomb here.
Yeah, that's right. Oh my gosh. All right, okay, Flipheal. We are in the safety sanctity sanctuary in the back.
It's a big key. That's going to be the ice. Oh, and a fire rod.
And a fire rod. Oh, all right. That's a really, really good find for Flipheal. So we both got some pretty good items, on Andy, and Flipheal's side. Completely different routes, kind of leading them there.
Yes.
But then, yeah. That is, but yeah, we are kind of still wondering where this lamp is as well. The lamp is, somewhat, a mild suggestion for, Andy and Flipheal in order to be able to get some stuff out of this. But, a fire rod is a fire rod.
Well, there's a heart, another container. So both players on 5 hearts. So many hearts this early on. Flip gonna get another small key here in Hyrule Castle. That's gonna be the Thieves Town. 3 bombs is the item on Lake Hylia, and that is no use to us. We're not gonna come back for those at any given point.
No, it doesn't matter, I think, how desperate we are for resources. We are surely not going to have to, get the mirror, get the flippers in order to go and get Lake Hylia Islands.
Right, so Andy exploring the eastern area. We find the blacksmith entrance just outside. Flipheal gonna get another big key, and that is to Desert Palace. Huge.
Yeah, these are some really nice big keys to get. I mean, just coincidentally, of course, we have actually all 3 of our Light World big keys, but like the fact that we have Eastern Palace big key and Desert Palace big key, these are, among some of the highest, most elusive big keys in order to go get, like pod big key, certainly, Days can attest to that, how difficult finding that big key can be. But, because like these, I know. Yeah, but I mean, like these keys, only lock maybe like 1 or 2 things, and so they can be quite tricky to find. The fact that we have them this early, is very, very nice. So then we have eliminated probably at least like 3 out of our 25 ice rods so far.
Andy finding Mini Moldorm Cave. It's another 5-item cave for him. To be determined. We're about to find out if that's going to be of any value. That's a small key. That's going to be to Meyer. Another small key pops out for Castle Tower. Oh, the boots.
And the boots.
The plot armor thickens. And, early on.
And a big key to Misery Meyer as well, with the sword.
Is this the plot armor we talk about here? Like,
oh my gosh, where did you find that graphic?
I have had it for ages. No, I did not make it.
Okay, because that is very apt for us so far. We haven't found Meyer yet. It would be kind of nice, for what it's worth, for Andy to have the fire rod that Flipheal does. I mean, and for many reasons, but also, if we end up finding Meyer, that is something that we can't actually clear, especially with the fire source on the left side. Do you want to? No, with not enough all the logical keys in order to do left side? Maybe. That being said, Vitreous itself may not be the most pleasant, let alone getting there, but
no, thank you. Not at this hour. So Andy finding the capacity fairy upgrade. Flipheal, meanwhile, going to grab his hook shot here. So now we'll have the goodies.
Yeah, looks like Flipheal is actually just going to finish up the rest of Kakariko. As you mentioned before, no new checks. We've already got, some spikes of dopamine earlier from the different, items that we've gotten so far. But looks like Flipheal's going to actually go back and probably follow one of those connectors that Andy decided to not do, which is either Desert or it's going to be Spiral Cave.
So Andy getting to check that GT Torch item and get it. $50. Not really super beneficial, but could bail him out money-wise here in a little while.
Yeah, and Andy has been really scrounging, for any amount of cash, because
he's stacking pennies.
Yes. So Flipheal is certainly in a much better position to afford those like larger purchases, because Flipheal is a really great little run of playing. He's been saving up all seed in order to maybe afford Zora or anything like that. Andy. You never know, for example, when you're gonna get yourself into Dark World and you gotta do dig game, and there is no convenient arrow game right next to it if you're lacking funds. He still needs to afford bottom ender too.
Yeah, I mean that's gonna be his master sword. Flipheal not too far away probably from his master sword as well.
That's true. All right, looks like Flipheal though. He's gonna take Desert.
This is Desert, yeah. I kind of expect him to just check this big chest. After he checks this, we're probably going out the left side. So we'll get a little information from him regarding this.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. I was actually wondering like which 50-50 maybe potentially Flipheal is gonna take, but the fact that he has a Desert Palace big key from. Then this route makes a lot more sense because he can also just get another check out of this, and he's gonna be able to scout the Desert Torch as well. Given where the boots are, they may be in Flipheal's near future, depending on what route he takes, and so he could maybe have more of a incentive to come back earlier rather than later. All right, and we have more. Okay, we have big keys. Getting more big keys. We found.
You got to be kidding me! The Thieves Big, behind the Desert Big. Very important. Potentially.
Yeah, well, it's definitely a required big key, right? Because we always help both Flipheal and Andy talk to the bomb shop guy, and that's a 5-6 crystal.
I've already forgot what those are.
That's why we have trackers. Speaking of potentially going to dig game, on Flipheal's side, we have found a connector from Desert Left to Bumper Ledge. Classic Dark World entry. We so far found 2 of them, and they're both kind of.
Man.
Yeah.
So he's got the Hera big, so he's gonna clear this. I gotta say though, oh my god, another big key.
How many big keys are we gonna get here?
All of them. That's the Skull Woods. That's really convenient to be there.
Yes, it is absolutely, and the fact that Flipheal has a fire rod as well from the back of Escape. I mean, so he has actually a lot of reason to probably try and go to Skull Woods earlier because we have to get the back. Nice map to Hera in this dungeon in the map chest. That is as vanilla as you're gonna get.
Now, Andy took one of the dark rooms, and it looked to be DM Descent. And he went through that, came out on the dark floating island, and now he's in Super Bunny lower, going to be headed to upper. So another connector through this spaghetti. Meanwhile, Flipheal going to be getting a piece of heart from the big chest. $20 and a small key to ice for Andy. Another heart container for Flip as well. So we're pretty healthy early on.
Yeah, and at this point, like we're still at a point where it's kind of like a nice, 4 to 6 hearts. I think is actually kind of nice when you are still kind of maybe early on. You're kind of looking for Death Warp, and it doesn't take too long, right? You don't have that much health. It's kind of when you start to kind of creep up there, and you still don't have the mirror, and you're just like, I don't want any more health because I really got to exit these dungeons faster, and I don't have a good way to do it other than bombing myself 10 times. But yeah, overall, like if it's kind of at a point where, especially for Flip, it is he has very good survivability. And he only has to Death Warp when he doesn't want to. No, Flip.
I saw that coming. Like,
oh no.
The hookshot method not as good in Hera as it is in GT. I respect the attempt though. So we got a GT small here in Spiral. We're going to find out where Spiral lower is going to throw us out. And that's actually like a full circle.
Wow. Oh, wow. Wait, what?
I'm losing my collective mind.
Dude.
All right, so we're in the enraged phase yet again on Flipheal's side. Looking a little more comfy now and does get the fight done. We will get our crystal here, as we see by the C at the top left of the screen, and that is a TR small key as well. That's going to give Flipheal 1. Andy has 1 as well, and Andy's fairy connector is going to pop him out at Desert Right. So that's kind of useless, but yet another dark room.
Yeah. I mean, it's great for a one-time use because, again, Andy hasn't been over, and neither has Flip for that matter, to the Desert Palace area. So, it's going to be another area we can explore. That being said, if you're probably not wanting to take the connector from Fairy Ascension, especially all the way up in order to go get the desert, you could probably walk there, and that's faster, honestly, from like Link's house. We have rescued the old man. Didn't realize this was where it was, but Andy is actually now on the other side of the mountain. Nice little squeezing through the right side, the left side of that boulder.
Yeah, so Flip's got a lot of really good progression here. The problem for Flipheal at the moment, I'd say, is that he's got no incentive to go to the eastern area right now, and boots are important. That's not the end all be all in a race, but it definitely is going to help Andy just cover more ground a little faster, no matter which way he goes.
Oh yeah, and boots gain you incremental time. You always see like Andy's and Flipheal obviously are very very talented execution. You see Andy using the hook shot a lot, but every dash that Andy can do, and the minutes, the longer that Andy does have the boots, it's just gonna slowly add up in order for time saves from Andy to Flipheal. So as you mentioned again, right, having boots. Even 10, 15, 20 minutes probably not gonna be the end of the world, but at some point you're just he's had 40 boots for over an hour, it's gonna be a little bit more difficult to kind of make up that time. But that again,
Shades of Telethar.
Yeah. not the end all be all of boots. It just makes things a lot more enjoyable. But that's a very nice easiest room of the game on Flipheal's side. You could tell that he runs a lot of NMG despite walking.
Single rooping in the back.
Yeah, unfortunately, we also missed the elevator hand, so we're gonna have to, scrooge ourselves out of this way, the hard way.
We did find Turtle Rock left inside the Spec Rock entrance here on Andy's side. He is with 2, almost taking a hit there. Very heads up play. Flipheal could actually be able to open back of Skull Woods, not a awful woods, and we get another sword. So that's 3 available to us. Oh
my gosh! If only Andy were just 2 rupees richer, and we would go back to Kakarot, he can buy his tempered sword. From Bottle Merchant, amazing.
I literally can't believe it.
Oh my gosh. And yeah, the fact that Andy, he was on Fighter's Sword, he doesn't have the Fire Rod, no real good way to kill the Pokey, no hammer. I mean, though, Quake, I think, will stun the Pokey if you use it when it's, on the ground. But, it takes so long. And,
Flip not. Andy got the flute, too.
The flute. He's got, where, we need 2 rupees? Help? We're gonna go back to Kakariko immediately. I think Flip maybe forgot something. Is that right?
Yeah,
he's literally headed straight back.
I was wondering, he did not go to the back, and he's got that Skull Big key, and I was kind of thinking a flute would be really beneficial for him, because that would kind of incentivize a little bit going into Light World again. But then Andy found it. But there's still some really good things that are still available that Flip could get into Skullwood's big chest that Andy could miss for a little bit. We are going to see Saha's hut. Swamp Palace is our green pendant. 3 chests in the back here, 10 arrows, $20, and a map, but just a piece of heart for Flipheal in the Skull Big.
Yeah, it looks like maybe Skull Woods doesn't seem to be super valuable, at least so far.
That's valuable. $300.
Yeah, that's true.
That's mucho dinero.
That's right. That's right. It's literally value and cash on hand. Oh, we got a Bombos medallion. Okay, so that's 2 ways into Ice Palace that Andy had found earlier that Flipheal has not. But again, you know, Flipheal, especially with the Ice Palace big key, you know, as soon as we get to Ice Palace, that is going to be something that is available to him.
Is Palace of Darkness down here at like bottom left of the mountain? Is that where this one
Andy,
is?
yeah, Andy, I think it was the second entrance, like when you drop down from Spec Rock, maybe Spec Rock Cave entrance.
Will we get
yeah.
clip though? It looks like we may. Well,
Andy, well,
wait, is mimicking allowed in this tournament? I forget. Hovering.
It is. Yes, Molder and Bounce is not allowed, and hovering is not allowed. So basically anything related to GT, but mimic clipping, yes, is still allowed.
So does that mean if we jump down in the Hera boss arena and we get bounced into the hole, does that mean we lose? Is that how that works?
We might have to ask an admin for
a lamp.
Technical,
memeing aside, a lamp here in pod.
Yeah, that's actually hilarious.
There is back of desert for Flipheal.
All right, we're gonna get another dungeon completion on Flipheal's side. It's gonna be 2 on his scoreboard, and no small key means that we're not gonna be able to, you know, steal this key and then maybe save it for right side or whatever. We're just gonna have to go find that key the old-fashioned way.
So chat seeing what we forgot, but we got a bow here in pod. Incredible.
Oh wait, when did we get a bow?
In pod, in the basement.
Like, you know, you look away for 5 seconds, you know, and you're just like, how could you find something that would immediately just invalidate whatever I just said?
Yeah.
Player.
I mean,
thank you.
It's okay. It's in logic now. We can play
right.
the video game.
That's right. And Andy, of course, rightfully remembering with Blue Mail. Well, we're just gonna try and Death Warp, but yes, we do need a hammer in order to get the back of pod. So Andy, with only 1 small key, isn't going to be able to do much more. But yeah, finding the bow is super nice. Finding the lamp, especially that's his fire source for quite some time. It's also
Flipheal hanging his head a little bit. I know that feeling. He was so close to getting the 1 cycle, and now it's going to be a 3. So a little bit of a time sink, but that is okay. He's going to be fine.
If only he had the bow. Not even, you know, memes or anything. Like, you flip, that was probably, you know, the fire rod set aside, you know, like next best weapon, it was going to be the bow in order to be able to.
But do you see what he's hoisting into the air? That is a pendant. It's not even a good pendant.
Yeah. Well, we found the good pendant. It was on Swamp, right, on Andy's side. But yes, you are absolutely correct. Is that, you know, unfortunately, it looks like desert. And of course, you know, are we surprised? A little memery, you know, like you find the, you know, Desert Palace big key. You know, surely probably desert's a pendant. You find the ice rod, yeah, TR is a pendant. You know, it's all.
Well, hey,
you always
the
get
Desert Palace big did lead to the fabled Thieves Town big. So we'll take our small victories.
Got a little world high five. Flip is in Dark World, the Village of Outcasts. Andy is acting his flute in Light World Kakariko. So close and yet so far because we don't have a mirror, unfortunately.
They're literally worlds apart. Andy dancing at the fact that he's got a tempered sword now.
Amazing. He's like, I couldn't have had that, you know, 25 minutes ago when I was in Kakariko the first time. I was too poor.
Speaking of worlds apart, Swamp Palace down at the dam.
This is okay, right. Andy has Palace Shuffle. I was like, is this Dark World or Light World?
It's so confusing sometimes.
Yes, but the fact that he fluted over here, it does make me think that it is Light World. But yeah. You, as you said, worlds apart. We got the inverted. We have Eastern Palace.
He's going in because he's got the big key. He's got the bow.
And he's even got the lamp for convenience in order to get those dark rooms.
Page Zelga Dasan, where is he at? We got the whole package.
I know. He is just he doesn't do any work in order to be able to fully clear out of this dungeon. Now we can, you know, you can wager whether or not it's a pendant or crystal, depending on, you know, how cynical, you know, you are about this game, because we could be both facing, you know, 1 pendant each, you know, on between Andy and Flipheal.
Flip digging up a piece of heart, not worth his time, is heading out of here. Andy headed to the second chest of Eastern Palace on the right side, getting a map, and that is going to be to desert, so he is going to have some of that pendant knowledge before potentially going in.
Ooh. Yeah, that's actually a good point too, because when Andy finds the back of Desert, like he's gonna have that map. He's gonna know it's a pen, he's gonna know it's a pendant, and he may not end up killing Lamos, because it's like a minute and a half maybe to actually go clear the back, something like that. So it's not trivial. It's a good it's a good investment of your time. But if you know it's a pendant, maybe you're willing to hold up on it.
Magic powder in the compass chest here for Andy and Eastern. Another fortune teller here for Flipheal. He is headed over to the eastern portion. Andy not doing the big chest here. Gonna go ahead and just do big key chest. Maybe just do it the NMG way.
Yeah.
Just do it in that order. That is Mimic Cave.
Yeah, unfortunately, no hammer. Not too surprising because hammers and gloves don't have to be early. They're at least one of those things should probably show up at some point. So you can go beat the game. But until then, everything is just kind of a strong recommendation that you may fight it or not.
All right, so we are headed into Hype Cave in the overworld. This is Ice Rod Cave. One item awaits Flipheal as he walks in. It is a small key, and that is to Skull Woods. Not the best thing, but we will not turn it down.
Oh yeah. And right now, because Flip's already kind of gone through most of Skull Woods, it's just really a convenience key at this point. Like he doesn't have to go kill the mummy in the back. What else can you do? He doesn't have to pick up West Lobby pot key, maybe. It's at some point, you just don't need that many Skull Woods small keys. But of course, it's very nice also to be able to keep track of logic, and you do need all three of them, plus the fire rod in order to put, and a sword, of course, to put Mothula logic. Just minor things in case Mothula drops something important,
All right, so Flip now in Sanctuary after a save and quit. I was kind of hoping he would go to Link's house, but not the case. We'll see where his next play is going to be. This is going to be through Paradox again. He's going to go through the upper entrance. Neither runner has done this yet, so that is going to potentially lead to a new area, somewhere new, exciting, maybe a little fulfilling.
Yeah. Maybe it'll get him closer to the Eastern Palace area, so we can go and get our. Nope, we are completely not even close.
Love it.
To boots. Okay. We have no glove, and we found
Cane and a crystal.
Wow.
My brother and Rando, as we go.
And maybe we still have some potential value out of that powder we got out of Eastern Compass Chest as well. But yeah, certainly the major haul is going to be that King of Samaria off of Crystal Armos.
All right, so Flipheal heading in the right direction as far as the boots go. So he is. We know he's not going to get anything that's like of major value on the way to Eastern, so I'm fully expecting him to go the distance there. Oh, Andy finding Hookshot Cave down here at the M Rock area, I guess, or Smokes Rock area. But we got 4 chests that we can get. That's a Meyer map. We saw a heart container, a heart piece. And this is going to be new as well, but just another map. Wow. So Hookshot Cave, kind of a bust, but I'm pretty sure he's going to take this connector here.
Yeah. And we have some good knowledge as well, because we got 2 maps out of this, where we got a pod map and a Meyer map. So it's going to be good knowledge, once we potentially go find those dungeons. Because I think, right, so Andy was in pod earlier. We don't know if this is a crystal pendant. Maybe the next time he goes back with a couple more keys, he is not willing to. He may be willing to spend another key if he's commit to basically not going to the boss, for example, if he knows the pendant.
All right, so save and quit and to the mountain. This is going to put us on the TR bridge, and Andy going to check this right side entrance.
Oh,
and this is going to be to Turtle Rock, the laser bridge itself.
Yeah, very, very convenient, by the way, with the Cane of Samaria. We can actually go through the conveyor maze.
On the hammer.
Find a hammer, on Laser Bridge.
The well is waiting for us, Clear Mouse, and that's so right. Is the back. Some other items here in Turtle Rock. We can just go through and get Crystal Roller this way.
Yeah, and we even have a lamp to help us, navigate the holding up. Direct on our D-pad. Getting his boots, Meyer big and Meyer small, might have some regrets about not coming here earlier, but
that's
this is
about
also
the saddest I've ever seen anyone look about getting the boots.
Oh.
if I'm being 100% honest.
Yeah. I mean, it's flip. Was it? Yeah, I was gonna say CrossKeys is literally just like flipping a bunch of coins, and you just hope that the coins that you flip and the and the directions you follow are the ones that are gonna lead you to success, happiness, playableness. And that being said, though, when did Andy get his boots? Like 20 minutes earlier.
It was at the 15-minute mark, so yeah, about 20 minutes difference here in the boots. But Andy hasn't touched any of Dark World like Flip has, and we are in the well. 5 items or 4 left now after that heart container.
Okay, nothing too exciting behind the bomb locked item for the well. Got a boomerang.
That's a glove.
Okay. That is
exciting.
That is a pretty exciting. We can go back to Smoke Rock.
We can do that. We're strong now. We can pick up things and throw them.
That's right. Yeah, we can
with
also
a hammer.
go
We also can go into GT and clear a lot of it.
Oh my gosh, you're absolutely right. Yeah, with hook shot, with ham, that's exactly where Andy's going. We have 2 small keys to our name. We do not have a fire. We don't have fire rod. Excuse me. We have a fire source. We don't have fire rod. If Andy wants a sequence break right side GT, that is also available to him.
I mean, the fire rod's fully in logic for Andy. With what we've found.
Oh, right. Yeah.
He doesn't know that, obviously.
Yeah.
So it looks like Ganon Pig is going to be at the Sanctuary drop down today.
Yeah, so that glove that Andy picked up, 100% requisite, because we are going to have to go lift a couple rocks. Well, actually just 1 rock of the lighter variety in order to go to Ganon. But we probably needed that 1 glove regardless for many other things.
All right, so Flipheal about to get his Master Sword here, heading into Spiral Cave. Andy getting his second CT small.
Ooh. Do you think he's gonna climb? Or
he's gotta find it first.
It's true. It's true.
That literally would negate his entire. If he were to find it and do it, that would negate his entire boots advantage, probably time-wise.
It's probably 3 or 4 minutes, right? Just to climb Aga Tower, where, it's the higher class of small key, considered free. It's on Pyramid. So that is actually a completely not commonly checked location ever in any mode, pretty much. So maybe Andy, especially in these situations, is willing to hold out maybe a little bit longer for the higher class of small key. Maybe he's willing to save scum some things.
Andy getting the big key. That is to Pod, a small to TR, and a small to Tower of Hera.
Well, we do have a fire source for what it's worth, and Andy hasn't been up to North Darkworld yet, so he hasn't been to Hera like Flipheal has in, I think, the Dark Lumberjack location. So, I mean, when Andy goes there, he has the ability to fully clear out that entire place. Yeah, it looks like so. Yeah, Andy also does not have the GT Big Key. There's also one of those things where potentially it is going to be considered a risk. Is that, if you do all the way, GT Basement, you do both left and right side, you have pretty much isolated the GT Big Chest, because when are you ever going to go back and spend, 3 minutes of your life? So maybe Andy's willing to hold out, and not do right side quite yet, so in efforts to, not completely isolate one of his checks.
So through Ice Armos, Andy gets the mirror and the big key.
Oh my gosh.
This is really good. It is so hard. If you get that mirror, you're going to want to mirror out of there so fast. And the fact that he actually had the mental fortitude to stop and come here to get a small key to Pod
and
is
another
incredible.
Key. Oh my gosh, dude, this is okay. Yeah, forget left side. Sorry, right side. Andy doesn't have fire rod. As Flip does. Yeah, because Flip went all the way to the back of his cave in order to go get it. But yeah, Andy with how many pod keys do we have now? Let's check the tracker. We have an extra pod key.
We could get to the back. Key.
We can go, yeah.
Andy gonna be checking Smokes Rock. What do we have here today? Gonna be just a fairy. Meanwhile, Flipheal, with all his keys that he has available to him, headed to the back of Skull Woods. Mothula awaits.
So Flipheal is one of the most honest piranha plants I've ever seen. coming here with everything that you're supposed to have. You're supposed to have the fire rod. You're supposed to have all 3 skull with small key. You're supposed to have a sword in order to slash the curtain. If he wants to be an MG, like whatever, right? He can, but he's lacking a sword or 2.
Right, so with the mirror, Andy going to be going back to the mountain. This is going to let us see a small key here that is up on the floating island. That's the pod. So many pod keys. Flipheal, meanwhile, in this moth fight, should be with... I know he is skilled enough to handle this fight. The longer it goes, though, the more annoying, I guess, it can be. Out of magic on fighter sword, but is getting some spins in. Nicely done. Complete the fight.
Very, very nicely done on flip side. As you mentioned, he only has fighter sword, and so we could do some. Of course, we found the other pendant. We have all of our pendant knowledge thanks to Flipheal finding the dungeons out the hard way, and Andy just talking to Saha.
I saw him opening a door. I thought it's a cat. I literally thought he was throwing his controller out the door with the way he's getting pendants right now. But Andy, what was that? A big key to something? TR, okay. Sort of important.
Yeah. That's also going to be something else. So Andy's missing both rods, certainly. And Flipheal, of course, has the fire rod, which is arguably, empirically, 1 million times easier to find than the ice rod. You can check my math on that. Well, in CrossKeys, we have 20 other ice rods in order to go look for. But I was gonna say though, like looking at these big keys showing up left and right. Honestly, and medallions aren't even that important. I dare say, Hopium, we might actually have kind of a nice seat on our hands.
Are we in go mode?
We'll see when the ice rod lady sings. That is probably going to be one of our the ice rods.
Speaking of the ice rod, we are in Turtle Rock here again on both runner sides. Andy going to be in the very front. Flipheal headed to the pseudo front, I guess is a way to put it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Of course.
Welcome on in, everyone from Secretly a Sliver. Thank you so much for the raid. We are in the middle of CrossKeys. Flipheal getting his flute now as well. Hope your stream went well.
Yeah, I don't know how good Flipheal feels about getting some of these items because we did see Andy getting these items much earlier than Flipheal. Flipheal is not that much further behind getting the items, but just mentally, right? Just like, I could have had this 20 minutes ago, could have had this 30 minutes ago, and you don't really want to have these things weigh you down,
This is true. This is true.
By the way, okay, so we do have a Mire. We found Mire dungeon proper, so we do have a lamp on Andy's side. We are going to be able to fully clear out this dungeon, and the fact that we have a tempered sword versus the fire sword that we had earlier, and a bow on Andy's side, I think it's gonna be pretty dang comfortable finishing up this dungeon. We have blue mail too. Oh my gosh, blue mail. What is it? 8 hearts. Yeah. Okay, Andy should be fine. And both boomerangs and the lamp. What more can you ask for?
Andy going straight to the good old-fashioned cutscene chest, but he's doing it with a lamp.
That's
so
right.
It's going to be nice and slow. Pod awaits for Flipheal. Flipheal only has 1 key, so the extra checks he has done really not going to give him any additional progress in here. However, it is going to give him his bow that Andy has picked up. So kind of looking at the scoreboard, the trackers, the leaderboard, whatever you want to call it. Flipheal's got 3 dungeons done, but unfortunately 2 of them are pendants. So if Chat's dream of Ped is on the table, he's in a really good spot right now. Andy, meanwhile, with 1 crystal to Flipheal's 1 crystal. So they're pretty much even as far as our goal for the day.
Yeah. And we're gonna find out where some of these things are. We don't have the book, so we can't really verify what's on Ped. And of course, even though Flipheal had the fire rod when he visited, the back of Skull Woods, Flipheal, hilarious. That's right. Hilarious.
He's like, all right, I guess I'll keep going. But yeah, if you're just joining us, this is Swiss Week 8, the final week of Swiss. So a little bit of different stakes here for each runner, as Flipheal is 5-2, Andy 6-1. If Andy wins, he is guaranteed a bracket spot. If he loses, he will be in the play-in race. Meanwhile, Flipheal has to win to make the play-in race. If he loses, he is out of this tournament.
Yeah, and you know, every year, CrossKeys, at least for the last couple years, has taken just top 16 from like a field of 100 and I don't remember how many all joined this year, 150 something. Nice Meyer small for this dungeon. The left side doesn't logic, by the way, now. But yeah, you know, like the cutoff though, as you mentioned, is pretty brutal. You know, out of 150 odd people, right? Only 16 get to advance into brackets, and so this play-in race, even though you know, like it's a chance for you to get into brackets, like it's a very hard race in order to actually win or even like qualify. You know, you have I don't know how many, like 8-ish, 6-ish, you know, positions left in brackets after all of a sudden ones and like 8 zeros are done, and then you got like 15 people, you know, that are all vying for the last, you know, whatever number of bracket spots, and I mean, I think sometimes you have to finish above top half in order to be able to qualify, and the field is ridiculously strong, right? So you really ideally would like to secure your spot in brackets by getting a 7-1, but you know, that being said, you know, Flipheal, this is going to be Flipheal's like make or break race.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's right. Actually, Wallkick's one of the admins, of course, previous CrossKeys 2023 champion, mentioning that they're actually, yeah, so Zelga was actually the one person going into week 8, was undefeated, and took a loss to his fellow Spoilers teammate Marty. So now both, you know, the good news for the Zelga is Zelga and Marty are both 7-1, so they made brackets, but yeah, no 8-0 this year. And 3 out of 4 previous champions not even making. Oh wow, that is. What happened to CrossKeys, dude?
I'm gonna tell you what happened to CrossKeys. It got too cutthroat. It got too brutal.
That's true.
Vitreous even died from it, and he's gonna give us a piece of heart. So, you'll love to see it. Hyrule Castle Right gonna put us out at the Dark World Potion Shop. Ishimari, thank you so much for the sub. The 2 months, appreciate you.
Yeah, and the fact that Flipheal got spit out at Dark Potion Shop, okay, on the one hand, like you were able to check Catfish if you had a glove. On the other hand, why would you go check Catfish, you know? And I need a new circuit, so it could be a blessing in disguise. Flipheal maybe felt like, you know, I really wish I'd come here with the glove, but however, he'll get his glove shortly, you know, just like we probably imagine Flipheal doing.
As he gets his hammer too.
Exactly, yeah, he'll probably just do what Andy did earlier and, you know, go to the well as soon as he possibly can.
Andy finding a Gina, but just Thieves Town. He can't actually do that check that Andy did. No Canis and Maria from the Eastern clear.
Oh, you're right. You're absolutely right. Yeah. Now Flip is capable of hovering. However, as we mentioned before, hovering and Molder and bouncing is not allowed for this tournament. So we are just gonna have to go, you know, do things the old-fashioned way. Find the items.
We are gonna get a shovel and a cape.
And a cape? Okay.
Now, what's interesting is that we have found Bumper Cave lower in Kakariko, so maybe visiting that soon. Avatar N, thank you so much for the Prime Gaming 2 months. Really do appreciate the support. Andy now going to be mirroring, giving us Mimic Cave in the overworld. This will be new and exciting. It is the Elder connector, so he is going to opt to follow this. Now, he did not follow the Brothers connector, which amazing. That is a perfectly useful connector.
Yeah, we'll just hop straight back down. All right, Flips looks like he is going to go follow Andy's footsteps. Now the fact that he's going to go left first, despite the fact that, you know, I could just shoot because he doesn't have Samaria, he's going to get his GT big key and mirror, kind of do something very similar, you know, to Andy.
Yes.
And also, you know, keeping parity, we're not going to get Desert Right Side for different Desert Right Side, GT Right Side for different reasons. Andy not having the fire rod, maybe doesn't, you know, had better things to do, you know, and Flipheal not having Samaria.
True, very true. What's going to be interesting now for Andy is that he could mirror and go to Hyrule Castle, and then he's got a little bit of a conundrum on his hands because he doesn't have The good old-fashioned Hyrule Castle small key.
Now,
That
do you
is
think that
on the
he'll?
pyramid.
Yeah. Well, so do you think he's gonna try and go the pyramid route? You know, so he can mirror and also get Castle Tower topped entrances as well. In which case,
mean,
he'll get his Hyrule Castle small key.
Eventually he'll get there. It's just a matter of which way does he want to go and how does he want to route this as Flipheal makes his way through Ganon's Tower basement. Now he has that fire rod, but he doesn't have that cane, so no right side for him either. Like everything to give Flipheal a little bit of an extra advantage that could like help him right now is kind of falling a little flat at this point.
It is unfortunate, right? Because, you know, some of the big things, you know, that the fire rod, you know, unlocks, you know, as you mentioned before, like conveniently, of course, Desert Right Side's gonna be one of them, but you need Samaria for it. Back of Skull Woods, also, you know, whether it's pen knowledge, whether it's beating Mothula, whether it's just getting that entrance. You know, beating Mothula wasn't even that good, and the back entrance, I don't think it was that good either. So yeah, as you mentioned, we're like, and Flipheal, you know, Andy is not only catching up on some of Flipheal's, you know, things that he's already done, he's doing them slightly faster, you know, with the mirror, with Samaria, you know, with boots, like all these things. You know, Flipheal does probably, it would be very kind if Flipheal can get, you know, something, you know, more of an edge to his leaf. His teeth are already pretty sharp.
He needs some extra bite is what he needs. So Andy going to be doing Skullwoods without that big key. Nice Bob's chest room there from Flipheal. You can tell he plays NMG at a pretty high level. I believe he has a 124 as well.
I'm pretty sure you're right. Yeah, and you know, you can't really.
Same time.
Yeah, 124s you really can't like luck into. You know, like those that requires.
Yeah, I've tried. It don't work.
Maybe you could like luck into a 124 if you play like another preset, you know, and you consider, you know, just kind of like 10 minutes of cutscenes or something. But you know, no, it could be pretty cutthroat. Oh, that's right. Okay, Andy also getting bombos. Yes, I am reminded that we do have Ice Palace as another option now for Andy. I mean, it's always kind of been, right. It's kind of always been on the table for Flipheal because he's got the fire rod for quite some time.
Andy about to feel really awful. As he is probably about to get his his Skullwood's big key.
Oh yeah, that's true. What a difference a sequence break or a sequencing makes. You know, these guys haven't. Yeah, both Andy and Flipheal haven't really like sequence broke much. I mean, you know, outside probably somewhat, you know, more subtle, the expected normal stuff, right? Like Andy and Flipheal both sequence broke. TR. Big key chest, right? A lava chest, got a sword. All right, so I mean it's kind of expected, but other than that, we've been pretty honest so far. It looks like
we'll see if Andy's actually going to do the basement. Flipheal has the key now, but was not able to do it while here.
Yeah, and we'll see in this case if Andy wants to invest his time. There might be other things he wants to go do, like he does know where Ice Palace is, for example. And so that's another dungeon. He doesn't have the Ice Palace big key, for what it's worth, so maybe that's a little bit more off-putting for him.
That would really be beneficial for Flip. Like if there is progression there, I mean, honestly, like everything's been kind of going Andy's way. That could really swing the race heavily back towards Flipheal's direction.
Yeah, and so far, both Flipheal and Andy haven't really put themselves in a position where you know, like one or two locations have been like they've isolated. You know, for example, like unless maybe they couldn't help it. You know, so like if Andy, for example, checks Hera basement, Flipheal probably won't get back to it for quite some time. But then if Andy and Flipheal skip it, you know, it's a parody.
I mean, what do we need? To be honest, like. Are we literally between the two runners? Are we just Ice Rod for Go mode? I think we are.
Wow! Suddenly, what happened? CrossKeys, Ice Rod Go mode.
Yeah.
Am I rando? Oh, we found.
We just found
crystal.
it.
Yeah. Okay. Right. We might be in.
We just did.
Yes, that's right. How convenient. Okay, we don't have a Thief Sound small key unless. Oh, never mind. We have a Thief Sound. Oh, Andy has a Thief Sound small key.
That is Spec Rock.
Right. Okay, but Andy
Yeah.
doesn't have the Thief Town big key, which is locked by Desert
Ooh.
Palace big key.
That is
Which,
true.
where the heck was that? It was somewhere. It was in the 2-item cave, I want to say. Flipheal, regardless, has it, and he has made the priority to go check it.
All right.
Oh my gosh, is that collective go mode? Collective knowledge go mode?
That is knowledge go mode between both runners. Like, we found all the freaking dungeons. Like, this is kind of stupid.
This is we might be getting an early bedtime, Dante.
I mean, here's
As
the
I
thing.
say this.
Like, Flipheal's actually in a much better spot than Andy because he's done some of those out of the way things. Andy's gonna get really distracted, I think, by some of the mirror checks and other I guess things that are alluring throughout. I think Flipheal's in a really good spot.
Yeah, and the fact that Flipheal already has Desert Palace big key, right? Which means that once he finds Thief's Town, he is going to be able to get everything. And yeah, you're absolutely right. Like the fact that the Thief's Town big key is behind Desert Palace big key, which Andy still doesn't have, he still has to make the conscious decision to go over to Desert Palace big chest, right? And that may not be. Assuming even Andy has seen the map on Desert Torch, may not be very, incentivizing. And especially now, right? If Andy finds the flippers, for example, or Swamp Small, we're not gonna have a good time.
The piece that could be alluring for Andy is that, it's a connector he has not gone through on left side. So I mean, that's a crapshoot. It is something.
Left side, yes.
Of Hyrule Castle. Okay, so Flipheal gonna be doing Ice Palace now with the big key, even though I guess that technically doesn't really matter. Let's see, Andy doing these North Dark World checks and the mirror checks. These are time investments.
Oh yeah. And Andy somehow still needs to make his way into the back of Escape that Flipheal did very early. So suddenly, right? Again, Andy has the temptation now of both Castle Tower keys, for his entry into the back of Escape, because he doesn't have the Hyrule Castle small key on Pyramid.
This right here, he saved and quit. He's out of here. I was gonna say that was like potentially bad for him. We'll see where he goes, but man, like he was right there at Pyramid, and with that Hyrule Castle small, I think that could have pushed him in the right direction a little bit.
Yeah. That's certainly true.
The other thing to think of here is, like, if Flipheal were to pull flippers, then whenever if he gets to the dam, he's going to be incentivized maybe to go swamp. But the problem with that is, in my thought process, is that we don't have a swamp small, so never mind.
We can still check first chest, but yes, like, it certainly blocks you from the rest of swamp. Now, of course, the key can still be vanilla, in which case you are going in. But yeah, we're gonna have to see this case who gets more distracted.
Andy, speaking of distractions, here we go. Shovel. That's the mids. Talk about a distraction.
Oh
this
my
is gonna
gosh,
send
yeah.
him to desert area, to mire area. The plot armor is crumbling now. It is all in Flipheal's hands.
Oh my gosh, that's our third shield, by the way. We have found all of them. Sanctuary, Mushroom Spot, and Desert Ledge. Flipheal, I believe, is able to avoid 2 of them. He could have avoided the 3rd one. Just saying, if he, started his sank, reset his console.
Yeah, I mean, the moment Flipheal finds Thieves Town, he will be in go mode. I do believe.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh no, he needs TR big, which I gotta remember where that was.
You're right. That was Andy.
I know chat knows.
Waterfall Fairy, maybe? Oh, the dam. Yeah, it was dam. That's right. Yes.
So that's on the mountain. So we'll see when he gets there.
Another pod key. Okay, so this could be, a location that Flip is gonna maybe want to go back to. Andy certainly did a map check, and we also confirm, based on Flipheal's pendant grabs, that yes, pod is of course indeed a crystal. But that is going to be probably something that they're willing to go back to. Andy has 4 pod keys. Maybe he's holding out for a 5th one, potentially to go full clear out the dungeon. All right, no smiley face today for Ice Palace, pulling the statue. Needed that magic, all the magic shots we can get. We got bombos, everything's fine. We just clean up the rest of the cold stair fight with the fire rod, because Flipheal does not have tempered sword, so can't do the textbook NMG fights. I don't know how many of those fire shots ended up landing, but Flipheal's gonna just spin to win in Ice Palace.
Yeah, he's gonna be fine here. Blue mail. And down goes Cold Stare. It's going to be one of the 5/6 crystals. That's 20 bucks in his pocket as well. Meanwhile, Andy opening up Meyer. I can't even think of what would be here that would be beneficial. He could find Aga Tower. That would be a weird turn of events.
Okay, we got another something fairy, some waterfall fairy of sorts.
Yeah, Pyramid Fairy. And that's going to be a bunch of Garbo.
All right, I'm gonna check. Desert Main is just eat your vegetables house. The
So,
opposite
like,
of steaks.
That was what, at least 2+ minutes. So Andy's spent here in the area. Trying to think, where the heck is Andy going now? This might be the Skullwoods. Well, it'd be weird to do Skullwoods here in his shoes.
Yeah, because like Andy already did a map check, so that he knows that Skull is a pendant. So I don't know if he, especially he's gonna basically come here for a pendant and one item is only on the boss.
Now Flip is on the path now, so if you're rooting for Flipheal, this is huge. Andy, meanwhile, gonna take his 4 Pod Smalls and go back to Palace of Darkness. So this is gonna be some extra time invested. If Flipper shows up here, that could push him towards the water checks. We haven't seen that on anyone's side, really.
That's true. That's true.
And this is going to be the TR big for Flipheal. So he's just an ice rod from go mode at this point. So middle drop here for Flipheal. This is going to give him TR upper, and he'll be heading in. He has Fire Rod. He can do these extra checks here. That'll be a little bit of a time investment for him. Like, all of these little things are going to add up on both sides. The checks that are of no value.
Yeah, and right now, where was Andy's? I think maybe Flipheal hasn't done TR lava chest, like the big key chest, because he's down a sword versus Andy, which is he's only a master sword, and so like without silvers, can certainly still be a little bit more time spent on fighting the last boss. So we'll see. Like again, all of these are new checks, where we don't know what the last sword is, we don't know where the other bow is. So if Flipheal ends up, or Andy for that matter, finds one of these nice offensive upgrades, it'll certainly buy some of that time back for the investment.
All right, into the Helmasaur fight.
Oh my gosh.
Small key to swamp.
Okay. If you are rooting for Flipheal, you do not want him to find flippers. All right, that is like the last, barrier, dam, whatever, anti-dam, that's keeping Flipheal from a 10-check, dense, but completely useless dungeon. Flipheal, for what it's worth, also does know that swamp is a pendant. So like so that still can keep him away from the dungeon. But like when you're searching for that ice rod, you are
4 crystals now for Andy, 3 for Flipheal. Flipheal on the way to his 4th here in the Misery Mire. Andy having some checks here in the back of Palace of Darkness that he can do. I kind of feel like we'll see Flipheal come back here pretty soon-ish.
Yeah, and honestly, like as we're kind of watching Andy attempt to go to the back of Pod, I do potentially think that Flipheal also will do the same thing. I don't like to think necessarily it's going to be Andy's time investment alone. Just because like you are searching probably for your crystal dungeons first. Flipheal still does Pod on the table. Maybe he's waiting for another Pod key. However, though, like it's going to be another dungeon you're probably going to want to go to before other locations.
Right.
And so, especially if Flipheal's searching for that ice rod, he is willing to, make some, he's willing to come back to Pod, which is still pretty dense.
I think in this Swiss tourney, as wild and chaotic as it is. Andy getting half magic there in the harmless Hellway. You know, one of the seeds needs to have like a golden ticket that just randomly happens, and whoever in that race gets the golden ticket first gets into brackets like automatically. Just quote me on it.
Yeah.
You know, add some more randomization to our randomizer.
I mean, it's like a wild card spot, you know. Maybe they'll even have some chocolate, you know, alongside. I heard that Wonka's Chocolate Factory is, you know, it's quite famous, you know, around these parts.
See, I thought of it because, you know, there's already a golden ticket Sprite, you know.
True.
You know, and it's convenient.
Yeah, and you know, we've seen these golden tickets come up in multiple, you know, showcases or exhibitions, right? I think the main tournament, which is potentially coming up soon here, they, you know, to display all of the 128, 64, whatever number of qualifiers they had, right? They did a golden ticket for all of the players.
Yes, I feel like we may see that again here with the main tournament firing up in the next few weeks.
Yeah, I think the first quals, they start after Labor Day weekend, September. It's not immediately after, but it's like early to like mid-September or something. Okay, Andy not having the Ice Pals Big Key, it is of no consequence. You know, I think at this point he's fine without it. I think we saw it on Flipheal side. I've already forgotten what the item is. It was not important. But he's gonna get another crystal out of this. And of course, with Kena Samaria, full clearing the dungeon is relatively painless. Please don't take that away from us. Icebreaker is extremely valuable in terms of time save.
I was gonna say, like, this is one of those seeds, and neither one of them I think is gonna actually be able to pull this off at this point, unless, like, you know, Flipheal just like terminators the rest of the route here. But you know, the Days Cloud 121 could be,
oh my gosh,
you know, potentially in shambles.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, we hit collective go mode pretty early, and yeah, you know, as you mentioned, right? Like, we do have some shiny things that could kick us off the, you know, off the correct, true path, you know, the righteous one. However, though, you know, sometimes, you know, Andy and Flipheal are very strong-willed, right? You saw Andy and Flipheal both not mirror after getting the, you know, after finding it in a GT big chest room. But we'll see. And getting all the rest of his goodies, his safeties, an ice palace, his cotton candy palace. Have you ever had cotton candy that's chilled? Is it even good?
I feel like it would be almost like glass. I would not want to eat it.
Yeah, because normally like cotton candy is like warm, or like, you know, at least like room temperature, you know, and it's like very soft, right?
Well,
like
it's kind of like it's literally sugar.
Well, right. I mean, but it feels very fluffy, very, you know, puffy, right? And I just think that if it's cold, it just loses all that texture, you know.
It's a new texture. It's like glass in your mouth.
That sounds awful. All right, no tempered sword again for Flipheal. We do have 14 arrows. Okay, we have we don't have anything. All right, Flipheal's just gonna do the extended NMG version. We're gonna slash and spin a lot more times because we don't.
He's doing his best. He is gonna use this red goo. I don't blame him at all. Better safe than sorry.
Wasting precious arrows, but gets it done.
Not accidentally quick swapping to the mirror. You know that's a seasoned rando veteran, as Flipheal gets crystal number 4 out of 7.
4-7. Whenever I hear 4-7, I think of the previous main tournament settings from how many years ago that were not well received as part of the goal set.
But listen, we don't need 4-7
okay, you're right.
pass.
You're right.
No
we don't
pass,
need.
Please.
You're right. we don't need those kind of memories. I'm also being told about a raccoon and cleaning up cotton candy.
It's the saddest video. Wallkicks is in chat just memeing about showing you a video, and it will make you cry.
I don't want to cry tonight, Wallkicks. I'm here watching some happy things happen.
Okay, so I still think Flipheal's in the lead, but if he were to say that shovel is important, he's going to get the mitts too, and then all the things that Andy did are going to look very appealing to him.
That is certainly true. Did we also pick up a small pallet small? Oh, no, we have that. We've had that for a while. Okay, these are the flippers, right?
I mean, the other thing I guess to consider, like neither runner has freaking been to the ice ride cave area.
That's true. That's true.
Flipheal
Yeah.
popped out in the Dark World area. But now that he'll have a glove and a mirror, like maybe he goes back over there. Andy now gonna be doing some fake flipper, and this is more time in Flipheal's pocket right now.
Yeah, no, that's definitely true. And you know, flippers are, I was gonna say, nowhere to be seen on both Andy nor Flip.
All right, I'm ready for Flipheal's reaction when this happens. He's doing it the opposite way Andy did. So let's look at Flipheal's cam here. All right, it's just kind of like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah, everything's fine. Everything is fine. All right, okay. Where are we going, Flipheal? We're gonna go
this
back
is where Flipheal's actually going to get his third sword. He hasn't done the pod area, so Blind's Hut's over here.
It's true. Yeah, finally, you know, hour and what seems like hour, you know, hour and a half later, but it's actually only hour 10. Flipheal's gonna, you know, again, you know, get his 5-item cave. It's always one of those feelings, you know, when you find a 5-item cave, you know, let's say late, you know, that's in like, you know, your sphere 1, especially with that, you know, Dark World connector, and then, you know, I guess you're relieved if it's all.
Okay. So Andy now is headed into Hyrule Castle. Is he going to go out the connector, or is he going to clear the items?
Ooh.
He's getting the items. So this is where it gets interesting. Flipheal getting his tempered sword now here in Blind's Hut. He is going to get the desert big, but the problem is that he's not, unless he just God visions like, let's not do, what do you call it? You know, Zelda Cell. I doubt that happens. Andy's been pretty thorough. I don't see him skipping that. So he's not going to have a way to the back until he goes to Pyramid.
Or decides to go beat Castle Tower, right? But I mean, I think he would try to hold out.
I don't think we
you're right. You're right. We haven't found that yet. Yeah. So that could be another holdout. And the fact that like Andy and Flipheal now both have mirror. They both have, you know, hammer. They've got traditional Dark World access. You know, they can even get out of Food Spot 5 or something in the Dark World. They can go to Pyramid now. You know, they can go get the entrances up top. That's potential. You know, Andy pausing before Zelda Cell, maybe thinking about stealing the boomerang. Yeah, the boomerang chest key.
I don't think I've never seen Andy do that.
Same.
He's probably like, you know, I've seen some of these crazy folks do this occasionally, but nah, I don't need to do this.
Some of the meta has really, you know, evolved, you know, from CrossKeys. You know, I you know, it used to be like nobody ever steals a Desert Palace small key, right? And you know, you get, you know, public shape, but more and more people now seem to be doing it this tournament. So
yeah, so we're finally getting the rock check here. This is Chicken Hut, and this is going to be another item for Flipheal. Andy popping out here. I expect we're going to see a catfish play. Nice. Single arrow for Flipheal in Chicken Hut. Not even picking up the pot and saving the chicken. How dare he?
No, I mean, it seems like, you know, just adding insult to injury, right? The Chicken Hut insulted him, so then, you know, Flip's like, well, forget you guys. I'm going home with my other something.
All right, Flipheal with his mirror. Looks like he's going to go out lower. This is probably going to be to the Pyramid area. Andy might be going to Pyramid. No, he is not. This is probably... Is this Zora?
No, he did Zora earlier, like, and he bought, you know, that's why there's such a money disparity between himself and Flipheal, is you pay the 500 already. Okay, we're gonna do, he's gonna
check the big. Okay. So this is probably gonna push him to just go beat Thieves Town, because he probably knows how close he is to go mode. And then it's just a race to, can he get the I mean the final piece of the puzzle, the fire rod.
Oh, that, you know, it is there are a lot of choices out there for Andy. And to be able to, you know, pick the right thing, or pick the more right things, you know, or the things that cost less time. So
nothing is right. Everything is wrong.
Talking about wrong. Yes, this is unfortunate for Flipheal to be able to find this. I think also wasn't there a Mimic Cave as well out there that Flipheal found?
Yeah, it's where is that?
I think it was
That's-
somewhere cactus.
Yeah, it's like southeast of the Dark World Link House spot. $300 here in Spike Cave.
Oh, Flippy's actually even using a potion to get out. I don't think we actually found the potion shop for what it's worth, but we are.
Where is he gonna go? Is he going? Is this the catfish? Oh, this might be good. If he doesn't go catfish, he will be able to go across and find Thieves Town, and then he will be in go mode.
Oh yeah.
Hang on, what?
Oh. We're gonna do
what is this drop down? Is this Magic Bat?
This might be Magic Bat.
This is Magic Bat.
Okay.
I didn't have this marked, and I was like, what is he doing?
They definitely been here to Hyrule Castle, like front. So I'm sure they both checked this drop down. I was gonna say he did walk by my favorite rock. Unfortunately, we're not gonna take it. But yeah, Flipheal is well, do you think he's gonna BTR first? Oh no, he doesn't. Never mind. He doesn't have the ice rod.
So he could go beat pod if he goes. He is not going to go. I was about to say, if he goes and checks the shovel, that's going to give him mitts. That's if you're rooting for Flipheal, you do not want to see him do that. This is okay. He doesn't have flippers.
Okay,
we're fine.
Yes. He's fine. That's right. So again, there are other.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say there are other temptations. I think that are still known ones. For example, they both have they have GT right side. If they want to go through that. They do have also the GT big key, so they can climb. I mean, there are those 5 items, right? 4 items on the right side, 5 items on the climb, and then I forgot what's behind the climb. Maybe it's not useful, but that's maybe at least 1 more, 2 more.
It's something. No idea what, but it's something. So, Flipheal finally finding Hookshot Cave. This is going to put him out on the mountain if he goes through the connector. You want to see him stay away from shovel. We were mentioning that, and why is this so important? All of this, Flipheal is kind of in a different situation than Andy. Flipheal needs to win this to be in the play-in race to try and still get a spot in brackets. If Andy loses, he is guaranteed the play-in race, but if he wins, he is guaranteed the brackets. So there's a lot at stake, different for each runner. Yeah,
and I mean, you would certainly always just want to take your guaranteed spot if you can. The planned race again is absolutely no joke. You're fighting probably 6 to 8 bracket spots remaining from like 15 people, or whatever it is that's gonna eventually be all 6 and 2 record. So just because you make a spot into the play-in race does not mean necessarily that you're going to be able to secure your spot in brackets.
All right, so the brewery over here at Ice Rod Cave area, and that is going to be of no call. Attack a tower.
Gosh. Okay, well, Flip knows that he doesn't need actually to beat it. He's just going to get the 2 items and then leave. Because he already, again, Flip decided to make an early decision to bunny walk from Flute Spot 5 as a I don't remember what it is, mini piranha, whatever it is. And he got the pyramid, he got a Hyrule Castle small key, went all the way to the back and found his fire rod. And that Hyrule Castle small key on Pyramid is eluding Andy right now.
I mean, assuming Flip wins this race, I mean, that's literally play of the game. Like, there's no way around that. But Andy up to 6 crystals now.
All right. Well, I mean, that's he certainly on the scoreboard, right? Andy is certainly well ahead. However, though, the path to the 7th crystal can be quite scenic. All right. Looks like Flipheal's gonna follow. Bumper.
We're gonna find out where Bumper Upper is gonna take us. This is gonna be new, exciting, fresh, hitting the dopamine.
That's right.
It's not. It's not of any value.
No,
Humbug would be proud.
That's right. Actually, we have actually visited Ice Palace location before the Mire area. And anyway, as you mentioned, though, So
Andy's about to get this Hyrule Castle small, but will he go back? That's the big question. Like, will and when he go back?
Yeah, he's definitely gonna check these 3 entrances up here. That's what his initial intention was. And we're gonna know about a Skull Woods. That is a Skull Woods Spike Cave. at least for the time being, we're going to check out these other ones. I mean, Andy still may end up doing it just because we're here before he decides to go somewhere else. But yeah, it's kind of I mean, if Flipheal is on a timer.
Now, Flipheal is going to give us a new entrance. I don't think we're going to find any value here, but we are going to find a shop.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so now we're doing good old spot cave here on the pug side, dancing our way through.
Yeah, he's gonna get some of his Zora cash replenished.
Oh, and now this is gonna be go mode here for Flipheal.
Oh,
and
yeah.
oh man, this is tight now. Depending when Andy goes back, if he flutes to Hyrule Castle right now,
I do think Andy maybe has a little bit more of a buffer, you know, like even if he doesn't go to Hyrule Castle immediately, because apparently we're just gonna miss Flute. Don't worry, we're just taking another detour to our ultimate destination. It's like a layover.
This is it. He's doing it. Oh man.
Wow. All right, he's gonna get Dark Cross. He's gonna get back of Escape. Yeah, but I do think like Flipheal, like he still has 2 dungeons we have to go through. Right? He's got to finish Pod, and he's got to finish Thieves Town, and then both of them, of course, have to finish Turtle Rock. So, and you know, and Pod and Thieves Town are at least even go mode. Like you need to clear out the back, and you know, just go to the boss and whatever. Like they are multiple minutes. So, you know, that is still longer than it would take Andy to go to the back of Escape.
Now, where is the back of Turtle Rock is the other thing to consider. Andy's, I guess, time to go there. He has 2 options. He can go through Hookshot Cave, which is down near Flute 7, and then mirror, and he will be at the entrance. The other option, climb the left side of Death Mountain, mirror up and around, go through the hammer pegs, and then drop down center. So we'll see if he takes like the optimal route. I assume Hookshot Cave would be that in this case, but what do I know? I have to ask for directions when I play CrossKeys.
That's the benefit of co-op. We have found the ice. No, right. That is go mode for Andy.
Yeah. So both players in go mode now, but as we were saying, there's 3 crystal dungeons left for Flipheal with just 1 for Andy. So, man. Oh, what am I talking about? I was.
PR is so conveniently right here on Bridge. I completely forgot as well. So.
I had it wrong on my tracker. I'm stupid. See, I told you I needed to ask for directions.
This is why you play co-op, right? not this tournament. Nobody's playing co-op here. Okay, Andy and very honest people playing by themselves.
I thought I was smart for a minute, and I feel really sad now.
Don't do that. Do you want to? If you really want to feel sad, apparently you should watch the video of the raccoon cleaning off his cotton candy.
That's how I feel right now. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah, talking about cotton candy. This is, you know, the ice head is probably just glass of cotton candy, because that's what it looks like as it explodes.
Man, all right, that was a solid try next fight. Andy licking his chops here, probably a little nervous because of where that fire rod was.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't. So it's like you're both nervous, and also like you look at the timer, right? And this is sub 130. So we're gonna go beat Ganon, right? And we're gonna finish in like 2 minutes.
I'll pose the question to you, Clear Mouse, and chat's gonna chime in. Do you think the 20-minute boot difference is actually played a role here? I mean, my answer to that is yes. You know, Andy was able to cover a lot of ground early on. Flipheal did a full Dark World loop in that 20 minutes, but no boots to kind of expedite the process.
I mean, yeah, everything I think does contribute. I mean, certainly I think the boots did make a pretty significant contribution, you know, to the difference. Flipheal also, I think due to dungeon knowledge, like maybe he wouldn't do desert, for example, right? If he knew it was a pendant, and that was like, you know, without boots, you know, maybe kind of exacerbates like the situation, you know, because you know, going to the back with and without boots actually can be a pretty significant difference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, this is exciting for all the fandies in chat. Like Andy gonna be,
gosh,
all
awesome.
The fandies are gonna be excited to see Andy move on to a guaranteed bracket spot. I hate this for Flipheal, at least how this is potentially going to play out here, based off of the positioning. You know, Flipheal a solid runner. You kind of hate to get paired up against a 6-1, but them's the breaks, unfortunately, with the way this tournament structure is.
So I know the Flipheal, yeah, like he didn't feel probably great when he found, when he found the boots at like 35 minutes. He found the flute, like 40 whatever minutes and stuff like that. But at the same time, you're looking at the clock and you're just like, I'm only 124 in, and I've got Pod to beat, I got TR to beat, and I got Ganon to beat. That's like 6 more minutes, right? I mean, how can you be sad, I guess, about, like a 130, 5 finish time?
I was about to say, is Andy going to get a 124?
I mean,
NMG 124 here?
we might be a little off the. We probably can't make the 124 threshold, just because we don't have silvers. But Andy, I mean, still phenomenal.
We'll get a solid 125. Honestly, I think even Andy mentioned this to. He was talking to Eddie in a stream last night, SM player, basically saying that, in CrossKeys, a 130 is like a god seed, and we're getting a 125 here as Andy has soared up. So get your GGs in chat for Andy. He's going to be moving on to brackets. The little pug has done it.
The little pug that could. Even toasters. Big GGs. Let's get this pug some cotton candy as a reward. Not cold, by the way.
Yeah, give him some cotton candy.
Yeah. This must feel. I mean, as you mentioned before, right? Andy was pretty late, to the fire rod, right? I mean, he certainly put up here like most people would do, for quite some time, and at the same time, it's like you feel not very good picking up the fire rod, but at the same time, you're just like, oh, it's a 120. Yeah, I'm picking up, my go mode sub 120. Could this be that bad? Question mark. Yes, thank you, Wallkicks. I do see it. I'm not ready to cry.
We need the live watch reaction.
No.
Give us the play-by-play. Narrate it for us, Clear Mouse, as Flipheal continues.
Yes, yeah. I mean, you're gonna hear my voice cracking up and breaking, and maybe sniffling and sobbing, while I'm watching this raccoon apparently. All right. I don't know if Flipheal is he's turning over. Because I don't know if he's the race room open or not. This might be.
They're chatting in the race room a little bit, so he is going to finish this out. It looks like, and that is totally fine and expected. We are joined now by Andy, today's winner and bracket aficionado. GGs.
Yo, Andy, GGs.
GGs, dude. What just happened?
Bro, we want to know, did you start to feel really nervous getting the fire rod in that Hyrule Castle small like you did?
A little bit, but at the same time, so my plan was going to scum and go back immediately. So I checked where Hyrule Castle right spit out just because I didn't know that yet. And I was like, okay, well, if this is bumper ledge, I can just mirror and then reset. And then it spit me out a catfish, so I was like, okay, I'll do catfish, and since I'm here, I'll just do desert big chest real quick. And then that pulled thieves big, and I was like, oh. Yeah. So if I thought about mirroring when at boomerang chest, and then going to the back. If I do that, I don't know when I check desert big chest.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
Because fire rod, opens up GT right side, can maybe I get coerced into climbing. So it worried me for a second when I got that Hyrule Castle small key. I was like, okay, here we go. but yeah, I felt mostly fine about it.
So the kind of pivotal point that really made this potentially Flipheal's race at one point was when you went to the pod area because you had the moon pearl. He did not, and he went to the pyramid, and with no lamp and a prayer, he went to the back of Hyrule Castle early in the dark and got that fire rod. Man. He's I mean, I'm not sure if you've pulled up the restream or his stream, but he's done desert and Skull Woods as well for 2 pendants. So he was looking for Thieves Town, which had his go mode ice rod, for probably 20 minutes.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was I mean, we kind of all resigned. Okay, both these guys are in the play-in race for a good bit, and it's just kind of how the end shook out.
Yeah. Yeah, like I skipped so much stuff this seed. I never went to Ice Rod area, Light World or Dark Worlds. I didn't even go to South Dark World at all. This is this is just weird. I don't think I've ever had a CrossKey seed like this before.
Someone get Ramon the seed. Let him play it. Let's see how that goes for him. It's probably going to be nutty. Man, but I mean, this is let's see. Last year, were you in the play-in race last year, or did you miss out on that?
Not even.
But now a guaranteed bracket spot, so quite the turn of events.
Yeah, feels good. I haven't made bracket since they changed to Swiss into brackets, so yeah, feels good.
Yeah, I mean, you're well within good company as well. I think I saw Zelga and Marty in there, Skelly in there. I mean, you know, probably expected names, but you know, you're definitely within good company.
Yeah, this is also like a, you know, me getting paired down to Flipheal. Like, this is definitely a race that, you know, he was fighting for a play-in spot, and like, you know, me losing, you know, I was still in the play-in race. So this is definitely one I figured he'd probably be trying his hardest.
He definitely
to win,
tried,
which is definitely a little spooky going in.
Yeah, I mean, Flipheal played very well. You were certainly just still a little bit faster to, you know, like the boots and like the flute, and I mean, and you know, again, when he ended up picking up, what is it, like the there was a good bit of time when, you know, potentially, like, because the longer you put off Hyrule Castle and Pyramid, like, just looked like Flip was going to gain some time back, and then you went there, and unfortunately that was not enough time for Flipheal, which we're joined by GG's, dude.
GG's.
Good game. Wow.
Yo,
That was a fast one.
Yeah, I think
So
this was a PB for me, actually.
I could see it. I think this is my fastest. I have some kind of 1-3, but probably not this low.
Yeah, so we were talking to Andy, kind of, you know, recapping the last like 20 minutes. We hit, I think, collective like no mode or whatever you want to call it at like the 53 or 54 minute mark. And then I guess you were just looking for, you know, your TR big, which was in the dam, and then just if you found Thieves Town, you'd get your Ice Rod go. And yeah, just kind of just incredible the fact that you guys were looking for completely different things to finish this out.
Yeah, this I don't know how his path went, but like I walked early to the Hyrule, you know, the top of the castle, and I found the Hyrule Small. I was like, oh, that's a cool item in Logic, and then, you know, found it led to the Thieves Big and Fire Rod, and I felt pretty good about that. And then even then, I just like all the items just like kind of flowed after that, and yeah, when I was just Ice Rod go, I'm like, oh no, this could be anywhere, and
yeah,
I was Fire Rod go. I had Moon Pearl. I had Moon Pearl when I came out that Paradox connector, and 114 rupees or something. So I went pod and save and quit. And I didn't go to Hyrule Castle until 6 crystals. Because yeah, the items just kept flowing, and there was just like, okay, well, I can do this crystal dungeon, and then I could do this crystal dungeon. And at a certain point, I was, you know, 1-2 items from go. So I'm like, I'm just gonna do ice without a big. I'm just gonna, you know, do pod with 4 small keys, not like wait for a 5th. You know, skip Hera basement. Like, this was one of those seeds where like doing anything out of the way would have felt terrible, probably.
Yeah, your overworld investments were very different. Like Andy mentioned, he didn't go into South Dark World or Ice Rod Cave area, but Andy, you did go to like Mire Desert area, which Flipheal didn't go to the shovel, so he managed to avoid all of that as well.
oh, I guess that was Mitts.
Yep.
Okay.
But yeah, I only had like, once I found that like pyramid fairy, I guess, at desert entrance, I only had Hype Cave as like a more than one chest entrance left. So like entrances were just really not on my list of priorities anymore.
Yeah, and I guess I had the opposite problem. I was looking for just ice rods, so I even skipped the backup pod. I was like, okay, maybe with skipping the backup, because I made like a minute or two of like, dumb mistakes. I was like, okay, maybe that's enough time with this seed, but it just, yeah, my route just took kind of too long to find thieves.
Yeah, Chad had kind of mentioned that the way you had gone, it was slightly orphaned, being at the Bumper Cave ledge, because I think the first time you went through that entire area was with no glove, since that was behind the hammer.
Yeah, that makes sense, because, finding the desert big, I followed that connector, and I'm like, well, I'm in the dark world, so I might as well, keep going.
But overall, it was a very entertaining race. Flipheal, I was kind of rooting for you, man. I hate that like it was a 6-1-5-2 pairing. I was kind of hoping that this was a loser goes to play in and winner goes, to brackets, but unfortunately not the case today.
Yeah, I mean, I knew it was going to be tough. I had one or two rough matches getting up to this point, so obviously being paired up sucks and it's against Andy, but I made top 16 last year, which I was, I got a little lucky last year, so I was like, it'd be nice to do it again, but if I can't make it, I'm not going to be too upset, because a lot of right, there's a ton of like former champions or like top fours that didn't even, I think, make the play-in, so it's been a crazy year.
Yeah, it's pretty cutthroat overall.
It's hard out here on the CrossKeys streets.
Slinging keys and
No, but still a really good run though from you. But Flipheal, like not only of course your CrossKeys like record for this year, 5-3 is certainly nothing to be ashamed of, and also like I mean this is a 130 seed in CrossKeys, like pretty ridiculous. Like you don't get a seed often where you're just like, okay, I'm gonna 130 the seed, CrossKey seed, and then you'd be like, did I lose? Like it's just like it doesn't happen that often, So
yeah,
like,
I mean this is like
well.
a slightly uncomfortable casual boots time.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh man. All right. So I know there's some admins in chat, and maybe you guys know, but play-in race, is that like set as a date, or?
I think it's this coming weekend, but I don't know if there's a time set yet.
Well,
I was just saying,
us
anything
know.
like last year, basically everyone voted, and like whatever time was best for the most people is kind of what they went with.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, it's not this weekend. They defer it to the majority of all the runners, so that makes sense. Ball kicks the admin in chat, telling us how it's going to be. But I think they let people async that too. I could be wrong.
Yeah. Okay, looks like early indication is going to be the Sunday, potentially. Okay, all right, yeah, and I think in the past they've allowed asyncs. I know that I think like at least there were 1 or 2 asyncs last year, and then they had a gigantic like 14-person race. It was restreamed by 6 different channels. ZSR 1, 2, 3, and then plus some other like more more active restreamers. I think I know Alex did one. I think Ari did one. I mean, maybe this year there'll be other people as well. So it's always a very exciting time to be.
Oh yeah.
Maybe if you're not a player because you really want that bracket spot, but it's a really good time for us.
It's like NFL Sunday Ticket, where you just get to watch all the games at one time. Oh, I'm comparing it to sports.
Sports harder than the other sports team.
I would say we would jump in on that, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to be out of town if it's this Sunday. So.
Yeah, I think like Scary Olive, I posted some picture maybe last year. If he had I don't know 6 monitors or something, and like all 14 streams going on. It was nuts.
Well, I guess enjoy the little break, Andy. And we'll look forward to seeing you in brackets against whoever you get paired up against, I guess.
Thanks.
And GG's again to Flipheal. Like I said, hate it. Your tournament life's over, but very good showing. Very tough Swiss stage for everybody, I think.
Yeah.
Thanks for the restream and stuff. It was fun. Good luck, Andy. And I played this one pretty well. Just
You certainly did.
it was good. I'm happy with it.
All right, well,
GG's, dude. I'm looking at at Mike's document so that I don't have to go to start.gg, and I think there's only one race left for bracket potential. That's Leaf against Brev, and the winner makes the play-in race.
Yeah, I think Wallcakes mentioned earlier, Zelga, Marty, Skelly, Andy, Koi, Arm. 6, 7, 1 finishers. Yeah, sounds like okay. There's going to be one more, so that means that there are 7 spots taken for bracket, so 11 more to go.
Yeah, and those
not 11. I can do math. 9. I can do math.
that is a.
And those are the 6 and the potential 6 win people.
Okay.
Humbug is not participating.
Okay.
Dang, dude.
Okay. I mean, still, like, that field is not easy by any means. So.
I mean, Goomba, a past champion. Gamma won a couple ladder entrance tournaments with the invitationals done there. And, I mean, all the runners in this that Andy just pasted in chat. I guess, sorry, YouTube, you don't get to see it, but that's a lot of tough folks.
Yeah, I'm glad I am avoiding that.
Yeah.
You don't want to be in the bloodbath.
No, we'll save the blood for brackets. But yeah, thanks for commentating, guys. I appreciate you.
No, that's great.
Thanks for restreaming, as always.
Happy to do it. Was a good time.
Yeah,
at least both of you had boots under 40 minutes, and it was not a where are the boots to make this more enjoyable to watch.
I know, right? Once because I usually play Eastern early a lot, and there was like no bombs if you didn't go to CAC. And so going to Eastern with hookshot and bombs felt really nice for those boots, because I feel like I would have had to double back from any Moldorm Cave in most cases.
Well,
yeah, the seed was crazy. Yeah, thanks, guys. I'll talk to y'all later.
Yep.
Yeah, have a good night.
Well, that's gonna do it for us here. Clear Mouse, thanks so much for commentating this, and a big GG to Andy and Flipheal for getting through the bloodbath that is Swiss of CrossKeys, all 8 weeks of it.
Yeah, and have fun in Pilot Spoiler, Flip. Hope your car's engine is warmed up.
So it's a little, it's idling for a little bit, but we'll get it going.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, yeah, and thank you so much, Dante. I mean, always appreciative of you putting on these restreams.
Happy to do it. Happy that everyone hung out and is always participating, having a good time with these. But yeah, that's gonna do it for us tonight. We're gonna call it a night. Thank you for watching. We'll see you at twitch.tv/Dante here real soon.